Nice to meet you all, dear participants. Welcome to our today's EDFORM webinar, 3 steps to improve your interactive teaching activities using EDFORM. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to start this webinar for you. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Nadia PETRUNOK. I'm Communications Manager in EDFORM, and today I'm responsible for introducing the EDFORM platform for you all. We are going to spend around an hour and a half together, and we are going to stay in touch via chat on YouTube channel of EDFORM. So welcome to this chat. And for those who join us via EDFORM website, you are very welcome to click on YouTube link to be able to follow the webinar there and communicate with me using this YouTube chat. So feel free to ask any questions and comment on the webinar during this hour and a half or the time we are going to stay in touch. So first, to get acquainted with one another, type where you are from and what subject you teach. You might also mention the grade, the students you work with, their age and their interests. And after that, please share your own experience of using EDFORM if you have already tried our platform with your students, with your class. Using the screen share option, I'm going to present you the agenda, and then we'll see how EDFORM works for teachers and for students. So let's go on. After we will discuss all these points under the question, and I will provide you with some extra information if you need. And while the webinar goes on, please feel free to ask your questions. I'll answer them by the end of the presentation. And now I stop my introductory comments and start sharing my screen for you to get informed about the EDFORM platform as soon as possible. So at first, I'm going to tell you about the agenda of today's webinar. So at first, we are going to discuss interactive power of EDFORM. We are going to speak about 3 types of interactive teaching papers we use in EDFORM, and you can acquire and you can use for your students. All of them are different, but all of them are very, very useful during our lessons. Then the second point, we are going to discuss how the EDFORM account is used, how to adjust it, and how to set up all of the needed things you will have to before you use EDFORM. The third point, we are going to discuss these 3 types of papers from the library, from our computer or our cloud, and the other type of papers which we create ourselves directly in EDFORM. The fourth point is mastering EDFORM Builder. It's very important to make your working papers for students really interactive, because we've got plenty of instruments you can use. They are auto-graded, some of them are manually graded, and there are a lot of additional instruments you might use to enrich your learning papers for your students. So we are going to look through this builder, and we will also find out together how to assign tasks the easiest way. The next point we are going to discuss is tracking our students' progress. That's very important, because you always want to stay in touch with your students and to follow them and to see what's going on with their progress in learning, and for students as well, because they are motivated better when they see their results. Now we are also going to talk about different accounts in EDFORM. So today we are going to discuss the benefits of EDFORM Pro and School and District tariff plans for you to just know which account is better for you, which will be more profitable. Finally, after the summary, we'll come to question and answer session, and we'll see what we know about EDFORM and what we are going to use first of all. So let's start. At first, we are discussing interactive learning materials. This is the core of EDFORM, because what we work with is interactive learning materials. We are going to talk about 3 types of interactive teaching papers in EDFORMs, and these are 3 steps to your perfect interactive lesson. That's why today's webinar is called 3 steps to to improving your teaching activities using EDFORM. So let's go on and see that interactive learning materials are engaging teaching resources you create using digital tools like EDFORM. They help you reveal your students' educational potential and creativity, especially if your class studies online or you practice blended learning when you have to combine online and offline teaching activities. EDFORM will be useful for both of these types of learning. And now we see how these types of interactive papers in EDFORM differ. At first, interactive worksheets that you find in the EDFORM public library. This is the first part of EDFORM learning activities you might use. So these papers are used for free. You can download, you can assign them to your students. You can work with these papers if you've got a pro account. You can change something in them. So you can you can improve them, and you can just look at plenty of papers, thousands of these papers, and use whatever you need for your class, for your grade, and for the subject you teach. The other important part of EDFORM papers is really the making of these papers, the enriching of this public library, or creating your own personal library that are ready-made worksheets you turn interactive in the EDFORM builder. So you might have different worksheets and PDF format or others, or they are maybe on your computer. You might scan the papers you need, and etc., 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 and just download them or import them to your EDFORM builder. And after that, using our tools, you might turn them interactive. We will see what does it mean interactive in practice when we'll see how builder works. But generally, these papers are ready-made papers made interactive in EDFORM. And this third part, the third step, and the third type of interactive papers in EDFORM is interactive papers which you create from scratch directly in the EDFORM builder. So these are papers which never existed before. You create them in EDFORM. So these might be drafts or scratch or a thing you keep in mind. And you would like to make a paper, you do it directly in EDFORM. This is quite a new option, a new feature of EDFORM, which is now very popular among teachers. And these papers really created directly in EDFORM are fulfilling our public library as well as the ready-made worksheets. So let's get started. And at first, we will set up our EDFORM account. We will learn how to create a class, and we will find out about the integration with learning management systems of EDFORM, how EDFORM is integrated with them. So let me demonstrate you the EDFORM website. This is the page you as a teacher might see after you enter the EDFORM platform. I might refresh it right now. So that's what I see here. Here I might, yes, we have got my page. It was like downloading after we just entered this web page. So you see the main page. There are plenty of worksheets. These worksheets are featured. You have got different folders with featured worksheets over here: daily routines, screen activities, English grammar, Minecraft. All of them are changed by the EDFORM team from time to time, depending on which topics are most important, essential. It might depend on the day, on the period of year, on holidays, on the topics which are of the greatest popularity in EDFORM, like English grammar, for example. It's quite a popular topic, so it's always here. Spring activities will change into summer activities soon. Daily routines is quite a popular topic as well. And if we've got, for example, the New Year time, Christmas time, we will see here the featured folder of this Christmas worksheets. Here, where you see Minecraft, it's gamification worksheets, which are also popular in EDFORM. So now we are coming to the settings in the left sidebar. You see here settings. I click on it and we will see what's going on with my account here. So you see my account details. The most important thing after you see the settings, the subscription details, here you will see the notification preferences. I might choose them. I might click on some of them or tick every notification, updates, sales notices, and notifications related to my use of EDFORM. Here I've got my personal information, my avatar. If I would like to show it, I might update it, might update information about myself. I might change my password and confirm here if I change it. So all the information which is regularly seen in these settings settings folders we've got in different instruments we use, so we are acquainted with it, I suppose every one of us. But what is important here is danger zone. It's at the bottom of the page. Here you might click on convert to student account, but if you are a teacher, it's quite a dangerous thing to do, because after you convert to student account, you won't be able to convert to the teacher's one back, because of safety reasons. Students aren't able to convert to teachers' accounts on their own. And if this happens, you might always connect us via chat. Like here, you might click on it, and you will see here that we are ready to help you. The EDFORM team is ready to help you. You might send us a message, or you might message us via EDFORM email, and you will get the help, the assistance from our team to recover your teacher's account again if you converted it to students by mistake. Now, what's important here when we going on setting our account is my classes section. Here we are, my classes on the left side bar. We click on my classes. You see I've already created 2 classes before. For example, we can click on one of them. Let it be General English. Here we've got 2 students already. Here you can see their details, email, last activity, and this is the activity reports, class members and assignments to this class, the tasks, a lot of tasks. Here we have got details about these students. We can click on it, edit details, add to other class. If, for example, we teach various subjects and the students are the same, we can add them to other classes, and we can remove the students from class if we no longer work with them, or there are other reasons to exclude students from the class. This is the activity report of these students. So what we are able to do here, yes, we can change information about students, and we can change some information, edit information about the class. We can invite some students here, we can lock this classroom, and here we have got this settings button, when we can also, except for editing class, we can archive this class. If we click on this archiving class, we will see that this class, let's see how it works, is in archived. Only after it we might delete a class. So we cannot delete a class in pressing one button, because it might be done by mistake. So it's just for safety reasons we have got this archivation. You might restore the class and you might delete it. So let's restore it by now. So we have got 2 classes here already, and now we are going to create a class together. So let's do it right now. We can create a class. Push this button, we have to enter the name of the class, for example. English for beginners. English basics for the foreign students. It might be for the 2nd grade, because you see here all grades, professional development, from kindergarten to university professional development level. So let's choose, for example, the 2nd grade, confirm. So we've got here another class. It's already created, but there is no student here. any student is added, we have to invite some students. We can click on this button, invite students, so we can copy. We can copy as we are used to do it with the mouse, but we can click on this button to copy, then copy to clipboard, or copy this code and share it with our students the way we would like to do it. So that our students receive the code or receive the direct link to be connected to this class and to approve this invitation. After they approve, they will be here, like the previous class I just showed you, where there were 2 students already invited. Let's get back. And here we've got another important feature: import a new class from Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. So if you've already created classes on these learning management systems like Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, you might just import your class from there. You do not need to create a new one directly in EDFORM and fill in it with the students. If, for example, you've got a lot of students, not just 2, like in my previous class, but a lot of students, it will be quite a long way for you to do this. So if you've already done all this, you might use it easier while just importing them. Thank you so much. I just received messages from you from this chart. When you write that you teach English and have used EDFORM in your classes, and it's easy to use and teacher friendly. Thank you so much. That's the best words we can hear in EDFORM, because we're working for our teachers to let them teach with ease and to enjoy their profession. Yeah, and I use only Google Classroom, writes Ma'am Irina Senko. Good evening, I'm from Romania and I teach English. I haven't used EDFORM yet, I use only Google Classroom. And this information is for you because we've got this Google Classroom integration of EDFORM. So you might just import your class from this learning management system, and it will be present here directly in EDFORM, and you will receive all the notifications, all the needed things. So you will see your students' progress. So all the reporting section will be here, and you will be in touch with your students. It will be easier for you to get all the results from EDFORM, and you will get this cooperation between 2 systems. The only thing you need to do is to pay attention if you change the number of students in your Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. You have to refresh this roster in EDFORM as well. And now let me show you how you are importing these classes in Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. So you just click on this button at first, and here you will see your account. You will need to choose your account here, and that is how it looks like. I will show it using our website to show how it works, because we've already described this in our help center, so we see how it looks like. You go to My Classes, you click on Google Classroom, and that is what you see. As you see that EDFORM wants additional access to your Google account, so you click on every access you need here. So you manage your coursework, you view the email addresses, you view your Google Classroom class roster. This is what you need to refresh if you make changes, and you view your Google Classroom classes. So you can click on this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, all of them. Then you've got the access, and here you continue, make sure to trusted form in the system. The notification, you continue after you confirm that you trust EDFORM. Here you've got these classes. Here you choose the class you would like to import, grades, and import a class. Then you might synchronize your student roster all the time. You need to make changes there in Google Classroom, and this how you choose this when you are making assignments, like assignment here. This is your class, and confirm. We will see these settings of assignments a bit later. That is how it works. The other thing, how it works for for Microsoft Teams. Again, we see that Microsoft Teams, we choose it here. Then we see the team which is needed, the grade, the class, and import a class. Again, we see here that we switch account. You will see some synchronization again is needed of the student roster, refresh roster. That's what you click on, just to be sure that all of the students which are in Microsoft Teams are in your EDFORM class. That is how it works. We return back here to our classes, and that is what we need to know when we start working with Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams. I again would like to remind you that we need to refresh student roster. That's the most difficult thing in this synchronization. The others are quite easy. You just click on the button that you confirm that you rely on EDFORM and that everything is okay. The only thing with Microsoft Teams is that you need to keep in mind that to import class to EDFORM, you must have consent from your corporate mail administrator. If you've got this consent, you might do everything needed. And of course, you might always go to our help center for the details. If you need to go this way again, which I've just showed you, you might always click on help center. This help center is here and Learn and Get Help. You can click on it and you will see all the instructions, these instructions included to help you step by step do what you need with this management of your classroom, because of course it's the most important basic thing before you assign anything in EDFORM. So for you just to be sure and to be comfortable with all of these processes, we've got all this information here in the help center just to help you with this. And now let's see how you can manage classes in EDFORM. This is your classes, and this is how, for example, this class we can choose because no students are here. Great parts, a good the great title, but no students here. You can, after you, for example, archived class, and let's see here you deleted this class. Let's click on this button, deleted class. Are you sure you want to delete this class? You will see this notification once more. You say OK, for example. We put it OK. We know now that the class is deleted, but if there were any students in this class before, they will still receive their information about their studies in this class, because the students page is not deleted along with the class. So this is very important for your students. After you finish teaching them, or you just finish any class with them, they might still receive the information about their classes and about their learning progress. That's very important. But you no longer need it, so you do not spam your page with the unneeded information, and you do not overcrowd it with what you do not use anymore. So you might either delete this class or just make this class not visible here, and you might just archive this with this button or elsewhere. So now we are coming to the most important and interesting part, putting aside these organizational issues with setting up account and everything, which is very important, but it's technical things. We are turning to the most creative part of working with EDFORM. We will discuss how you create interactive learning materials using EDFORM. So we see here that we just create our interactive learning materials. We are going to find out how to benefit from the EDFORM library, how to attach existing learning files, and how to create some new ones directly in EDFORM. So we are going to discuss in more details all these 3 types of learning materials and all these ways of how we can manage our EDFORM to make it more profitable and to benefit from it, and to make our students benefit from it. That's very important for all the teachers. So creating our EDFORM at first, we can get back to this situation. These are three basic options. I'll just remind you about them. We click on Discover, the main page. Let's take a look at our beautiful worksheets. I will show them to you, and I will tell you in more details before we start creating. So there are three basic options. You can choose a ready-made learning paper in the library. This is Discover button. We have to push it to see it. This is this Discover button. This is the main page. This is this library which we can use. In this library, we have got different functions, so we might search anything with words. There is the keywords, for example, let it be English grammar, like this. Enter. We see lots of worksheets, lots of learning materials, interactive learning materials. Lots of them are about English grammar. We might click on any of them, and what we see, like here, for example, we took any of them on the form. It's a page of the workbook, as far as you can see. So this was a regular learning material we use with our students on the class, but how to make it interactive? You see here we have got some interactive elements. Here we are, yes, some words here are made interactive. Something is going on here. We will see then what's going on. Yes, here you can type something, so you see that you can work with this paper. It's not like the paper you just look at and fulfill all these tasks in your notebook if you're a student. So you can see that all of these tasks are interactive, so you can cooperate, you can coordinate your activities here, and you can fill in them using EDFORM's instrument, because otherwise you won't be able to fill in all of these materials in the digital form. You have to do something with it. That is making them interactive. That is how it looks like in the library. Let's come back to the main page. The other thing we can do, like we will see a lot of them, a lot of these instruments while creating the EDFORM, but now I just show you all of them. The other thing, the second point, that you might create a new EDFORM on your own by downloading or importing a needed file from your computer, iCloud, anything. To do that, you have just to click on Create EDFORM. Here you have got upload your learning material. So the main thing is to drag and drop the file to upload from any folder you've got on your computer, from Google Drive, from Dropbox, from OneDrive, anything. The formats you can download are various: PDF, DocX, PPT, JPEG, PNG, GIF, Google document, or slides. So anything you have got, you might download here directly in EDFORM and work with it, making it interactive. This is the second point we can use in EDFORM. And the third one, you can create digital learning materials directly in EDFORM right from the scratch. To do this, we will have to click on Create New EDFORM. And before we come to this creating of EDFORM, I am just making it the more and more suspicion. Before we are doing that, we will see that we have got here, when we click on my library is the folder where you've got all the worksheets you've already created or you used. Now we are going to wait a bit, and they will download because of the slow internet connection maybe. Oh, here we have got all of them. These are my worksheets which I've used or which I've created or downloaded on my own, or took from the public library of EDFORM. So plenty of worksheets we've got here. But what I would like to show you right now is my library managing folders. For EDFORM Pro users, it's a really cool idea to manage your folders. You've got here general English, English for beginners, English with ease, a lot of English worksheets here. We can do it with ease when we have got to make structure in our worksheet, because just plenty of worksheets, and when you're going to find anything you need, you might lose time looking for it, and you'd rather save it if you just put them in the correct folder, like general English. Yes, I can create. There is one worksheet which I wanted to add to this folder, so I can click on it and I find it in 1 second. That's why featured folders are a very good. It's a very good idea to have got in your at-home. These folders which you feature, yes, because at first when we clicked on Discover session, we have got featured folders which EDFORM chooses for you, like for example Minecraft. Yes, so let's see. There are 4 main learning materials on this topic. We've got our daily routines, for example. We've got some quantity of the top EDFORM learning material. We've got and like spring activities. We've got a lot of activities connected to Shakespeare, for example, to Mother's Day, to Easter, because it's a spring activities. We are discussing in our classroom with our students and work with them. So the same way you might create your own folders in My Library, and your folders will be featured by you. That's why it's very important, and it's good to work with. What we've got as well, here we have got a search button. When we just entered anything we needed, we just tried it before with you, and now we've got filters. We've got different subjects, around nearly 20 subjects here. We can choose all the subjects or we can choose any of them. Which might be featured for us. So it's the same thing we might do with grades, for example, 8th grade. There's fewer and fewer worksheets we find, and sort by popular or by recently added. Let's come recently added. So this is the most recently added computer worksheet for the 8th grade, added 8 hours ago. We see this worksheet, this learning material here. So that's it, you see. And then we'll see a lot of instruments we can use for making all these worksheets interactive. And after we click on it, what we see, we can save it if we would like to our folder. We might like it, we might share it, we might print it and save it like a PDF, for example, on your computer. Or if something goes wrong, we can click on this last button. Let's see. This is report a problem. You might leave your comment if there is something wrong with this subject, with this issue, with item you see, maybe it's inappropriate, or else you might directly report on it, and the EDFORM team will see and will react as soon as possible after we receive this message, because teachers and people all over the world might fulfill the EDFORM, and of course, if something goes wrong, you might comment on it if you see it. It doesn't happen very often, but there is this button. It's very important and essential for you to stay in touch with us, and to have the right to receive only really good and essential materials here in this public library with no flood and no spam. That's why we look at it as well, and we see that these learning materials are professionally created by teachers and for students. That's how it works. So after you choose all these filters needed, you will find your worksheet much more easily. The subject, the most popular subjects are here, so you can click on it here without entering this filter, because here we have got lots of subjects, and here only the most popular of them. So that everything is made for you to make it quickly for you to find what you need. What you can see, if you choose any worksheet we've got, you might click on any of them. Let's see it. For example, here we can go like this. Yes. Area and circumference of circles. Yes, you've got this worksheet. It's mathematics. It's in English. It's created 5 hours ago, so it's very, very fresh. Here we've got the name of the person who created the teacher, the name of this worksheet, and etc. What we can see see the answers here. We can preview it as student. So this is the student's preview. We might fill it here, the answer, if we know it for sure, but and then we can get back here. So we can also, if we've got the Pro account, we can copy and edit this worksheet, and if we've got just the free version of EDFORM, we might assign this worksheet directly. Then we'll talk about these different types of assignments, but a bit later, step by step, we are coming to the important part of the creating of worksheet. That's it. We are going to discuss EDFORM Builder. I will show you this page. In the EDFORM Builder, we are going to discuss how to upgrade our learning papers with the most suitable EDFORM tools. So we are discussing the EDFORM tools. We come to this creating EDFORM. Click on this blue button right under your name. And here we see, again, I just remind you that you can upload materials, you can select them from your cloud, or you might create new EDFORM directly in this builder on our website. So we click on this create new EDFORM. And now we have got different types of the main page we might use. It might be blank site, title, 2 columns, text slide, or title slide. So for your first page, you might create wherever you like. Yes, we can just click on this title slide. Let's name this worksheet or this learning paper. Let it be present simple. Then we add subtitle. Train the basic skills of using do and does for present simple. This is our title, the first page of our recently created worksheet. We can change the appearance of this page according to our personal style, preferences. To do this, we click Edit Settings. That is what we see here, the title slide. English. We confirm it's English. In English and for English starting for the second grade till third grade, for example. We can enter description. Learn how to use do and does in present simple. Here we might type student's instruction. Learn the rules and apply them carefully like this. Default score, the score for one task might be, here it's 5, but we might change it, let it be 2, for example. And we might change the default styling. Here we are talking about the font size, and all of this, and the color, the border if we need opacity, anything. So we might choose this, for example, border. No, we can choose like open sans, let it be 16, for example. The color. Okay. Save changes. And here, if we create the learning material, we might, from the very start, choose the visibility. If it's public, visible to everyone, we will see this worksheet then in the public library. and if it's private, we won't see it. It will be only in our private library. We will see it only after we click Save Changes. It will be only for us, for our use with our class, without any other teachers. And if we are belonging to the school and district account, we might share it with organization library, so with our colleagues in our school, for example. Let's make it private, visible only to you right now. We see present simple, train the basic skills of using do and does. Here we can also change the style. Let it be the other, maybe there's a color, like here. So you can choose anything for your students, which is the most appropriate for your class, like green, better, to see the green color and to stay calm. So after we created the first page, what we can do, we can add another slide. Here it's at the bottom of the page, add slide. And after we click add slide, what we see? We see 6 different options of what we can do here. So we can either add another blank slide, title slide, text slide, or a title with 2 columns. Or we can upload a file from our computer like we did before, like we could do before for the second part, for the second type of EDFORM learning materials, those which are added from computer and then made interactive. Or we can add from another EDFORM for pro users. If we click here, we see our library. The worksheets, the learning materials which have already been used or which we assigned or which we created, which we imported from the public library, etc., etc. All of them are here, so we can use this library just for us to choose if we've got here anything interesting for us for the topic we are discussing right now. So let's see what we have got here. Do, does, and did. Okay, let it be. So we click on it, and here we are. The second page is already created. Do, does, and did. The first page is the title page, and the second page here. If we don't need it any longer, we will just click on this button and send it to the trash bin, or we can multiply it if we need to make 2 pages. So maybe we will reorganize something and we will need both of these pages for our learning practice. And if we don't, we just click on the trash bin and it's deleted very quickly. That's it, how it looks like, because here we are in this EDFORM builder. If just to say, if we would like to create the learning material here in the EDFORM free version, we have up to 20 pages here. For the pro version, it's up to 50 pages for one assignment. It can be much longer if you need it, of course. If we create anything like here, it's the box where we write something. Yes, the text box. Here we have got this text box here as well. You might see it here, text. Yes, below at the bottom of this toolbar, right side toolbar, we've got text. Here we have got the settings of each of our tool. If we click on it, we see that we might clone it. The next present simple, we can delete it if we do not need it. And what else? What's interesting, we might log, send to back, backwards, forward to front. So just for us to manage where this where this tool will be located. And we can also click on help issue, help button. We click help, and we come to this help center, where we can read about this element if we need to find out more, if you've got any questions. So this element is called text element, if we've just seen before, and here we see how we can use it, and we can see the video which helps us discover more about this element. The same thing with all of these elements you've got here. So that is how it looks like. After we added this slide from the previously used one, so from our personal library, we might add another slide. and this will be the blank slide. For example, for us to use as much interesting options as we can, for me to show you all this EDFORM toolbar here. We have got these auto-graded questions, manual graded questions, and additional elements. Text element, which we discussed before, is in additional elements. So we can see here. At first, I'd like to tell you that some of these elements you can see here are available only for upgraded users, for pro users. This mass response, this element, audio response, video response, audio element, and image element, as soon as they are adding pages from existing worksheets, which we already saw. Here it is. I will remind you, add from another worksheet, from another add-on. So we are now coming back to our blank slide to create anything we can. So let's see how our instrument works. First, the instrument is fill in the blank. So to use fill in the blank instrument, we might at first create a text element, because we need to ask something, to ask our students. So we adjust this box to the surface we need, the space we need for this question, like this, for example, and we can type this question. If we, for example, use this question about do, did, does, we can see the fill in the blank option even quickly without asking another question. So let's do it here. Present tense. Do you have a driver's license? Yes. We need to make fill in the blank to create this box here, and before our students see it, we enter the correct answer, and after we click on preview as student, the student will have, let's choose the second page, we'll have to click here, do you have a driver's license? And after the student finishes all the tasks, for example here, the same with all the other tasks, he will see his answer as correct, as green, after everything is finished. Turn in. Are you sure you are done? Okay, yes, I'm sure. Here we are. It's green. The student was correct. Go to editor. That is how teacher sees what's going on with the student's page, because we need to know how it looks like for our students, of course. We come back to this third page where you can enter your text, or where you can create another question. Let's discuss the less silly topic, the more silly topic maybe, and the less serious than present simple, and it will be more interesting and more funny for us. Let's discuss the topic of fruit and vegetable, for example. Before we use it, we'll see again the text element here, just to ask a question. Let's create it again, this box. In this box, we might ask which of these delicious items belong to vegetables. And then we have got to give our students different variants. So we create the bigger box and we put them here. We have got a checkbox here. Let's use it. The checkbox instrument gives us the option. And here we have got 4 of them, to give our students different correct options. You see, it's not the only one, but we've got plenty of correct options here. So we might use it when we have got more than one correct answer. At first we've got 3 of them, but as soon as we have got 4 variants, we click on settings and got 4 in a row. And after that, we see which of them are vegetable. We just click on cucumber and tomato. That's it. But if we would like to have got only one correct answer, we put aside this checkbox. Here we've got, for example, without tomatoes. We've got multiple choice. Here we've got only one correct answer. So let's practice multiple choice. Adjust it to the needed size. Here using the buttons, which you might use to do it. We've got 3 choices, so number of rows, 3. Yes. We've got number of columns if we need. Yes, if there are more than one column. Here we have got 1 column. Let's put it aside a bit. We just hold it this button and put it wherever we need. So cucumbers is the right option. We've got only one of them. It was multiple choice. So checkbox, a lot of correct answers, correct replies, multiple choice, only one. Here you can see this in this preview. Here we have got 2 clicks. Here we have got only one. So we delete this. The other thing we would like to practice here is drop down. It's easy. We just click on it, and here, drop down. We use it for economizing of the space. If we do not have space to write down all these variants, we use drop down right near the question, like here we can use it. So we just add options here, the first option, the second option. And we click on the right one. Here we've got only one correct answer as well. You can pause. What we can do, we can change settings. Default score might be changed from 2, as we set beforehand, to, for example, 3 or 4, 5, anything you need. And you might change the style as well here, colors and opacity and all of them. The next thing we've got is hotspot. Hotspot is really cool for word search questions, but let's see how it works here at first. Here we've got the hotspot. We adjust it to the needed size, like here, and then we click. Rows, only 3 of them, and we see that we can adjust it, and then we just click on the correct one for it to be green. That's it. We might adjust it a little bit more to be more precise, like here. So we can only cucumbers green without any apple or cherries. That's how it looks like. And if you see how it looks here in the word search tasks, you'll see that the hotspot is really cool. This delete is really cool for them. Like here, let's delete this one and see how it works. So hotspot, we adjust it to the needed size. I made it green. Then click on settings. Yes. Many rows we've got. Much. And here we are. And then we just choose the correct answers and make them green, like here. Anything, yes. So, and after that, We might change it into red if we need, and our students will see in this preview section and choose the correct answer here. You see, go to editor. That is how it looks like. The other thing is matching. For example, you might create it like this. We will delete this hotspot. Bring tomatoes back. And here we might create fruit and vegetable anchors here, vegetable, fruit, apple, cucumber, cherries again. So we will practice matching. To practice matching, you have to click on this button. And for example, you create just a little matching pair. Let me to make it more clear, let's create it bigger like this. To bigger box, just for you to see better. So at first I make this matching pair. So I drag here. I create the needed space for it, like apple. Then I have to say that apple is fruit. What I do, I add a pair. It is here below, and I put it into fruit. Then, for example, cherries. We can clone this in order not to create another one, and then add pair. Again, we come here to fruit. So we've got two fruit, and then we might clone again for the cucumber. Here we adjust it to the needed size. We add a pair and put it here. That is how it looks like, how it works. The very interesting to compare is another instrument. It's drag and drop. Let's practice drag and drop as well. I will show you right now how it looks like. So drag and drop. We see, for example, apple. Let's take an apple here. It looks really cool with pictures. You've got some pictures, and when you need to drag and drop them to the other place, add a drop zone. We add this drop zone, and we put it, for example, here below fruit, and then it's linked. And we have what we have to do. We have to trap it here. That is how it looks like for you as a student. The third page, apple. We put it here, apple. You see, it was done because it's black, because the black font, the color of the font was black. That is why it's black. It works really cool with the picture. We can see it in our EDFORM where we have got pictures. It will look nicer. And now, when we see the other, what is left is mass response. Mass response is for creating the mass tasks. Let's again click add another slide, and that is how we see. So, for example, we just insert the result of our task, any task we've got, and like the text, the easiest one. That is how it looks like. We click on it, and then we create this math response. It's the last auto-graded instrument we've got. Here, open math editor, and what we've got to do, we can use a lot of instruments here, but here we just click for and insert. So it's the right answer which our students will have to insert when they see this math response task. That is how it looks like. So we've just seen all of these auto-graded questions we have got in EDFORM, and you can use them with ease as far as you just saw. It's quite easy to experience them. We've got also manual graded questions. It's open-ended questions, like for example, if you've got to ask a question here, and you just need to have your students to answer you manually, just printing this answer here. Like, for example, you would like to ask them anything, like, for example, what is vegetable? Yes, and they just need to enter the answer here. You do not insert anything because it's manually graded for you as student, and your student will have to see and to write the response, like 2 + 2. He might write here, or he might write here. It differs because if you, for example, just have to insert a number, you might do it in the open-ended question. But if there is something like here, all of these tools of math, for example, you can you might need, so you will need this math response because it's much more interesting than just your numbers on the keyboard of your computer. Go to editor. That is why it's different, and you need this math response. You might need it if you teach math, or you might not need it, of course, if you teach English. Like here, we have got this English worksheet. Then the audio response, when you would like your students to record an audio or video with this video response to answer your question. It's a really cool idea for English when you have to check their pronunciation, or if you've got some musical lessons to check the appearance and everything, the performance of your students. Then we've got some additional elements here. It's also interesting. You might enrich your learning materials with YouTube videos. It's very easy. For example, you might just click here and create it in this page, in the middle of the page, wherever you need, and you might link to YouTube video. To do it, you just need to copy paste the link, and you will see the preview over here. Yes, the same as here. We are discussing fruit and vegetables. These are fruit and vegetables. Here you might just click on it and it will play. So here we have to adjust it. We might make it bigger, smaller, wherever needed. This is how it looks like. Here we are. We can change it if we need. Then the other thing we have got here, and which is very essential, except for YouTube video, is audio. You might record an audio, or you might attach an already existing audio. To do it, you just put wherever you need this instrument, this tool. Here we are. You might start recording. It's like up to 1 minute for you. And if you've got the audio response here, we do not have to mix them. Audio is the audio you just record or download for your students to discuss something, or just to maybe to give some more additional information, to explain the task and anything. It's like limited to 1 minute. And we've got the audio response. It's not limited. Your student might record the audio and video responses as long as you ask them, as long as needed. Then we've got a shapes element. These elements are great for the young learners, or the learners who are practicing all these information about these shapes. We have got plenty of them. Just here we've got the basic one, the circle, the square, and the triangle. But if you work with them, you might reshape and you might create the form. Yes, so you might do everything you need. Again, you might change the color and opacity. You might click it here and put it under your main information just to highlight it, but you have got the other thing, it's highlight. It's really created to highlight the most important information. It's quite a new instrument, and it's also very popular for the worksheets with a lot of text. For example, the reading learning materials, when you have to highlight the most important information, it's yellow. And you also might adjust it to the needed space, and it just highlights its opacity is the middle, so you see it here. You can't change the color, but you have this instrument just for highlighting. You might use the shapes element for highlighting and this element as well. It's easier and more quickly because you do not need to check this opacity and to adjust it. The next element, text, we already used it when we have just to write something when creating our blank worksheet. The math equation is another instrument for our math worksheets, like here, but here we just used the text element when we just needed to write the simplest math equation ever. But if the math equation is much more interesting and difficult and really for learning, we can use it like here. Let me click on it and put it somewhere here. We open Math Editor and we use numbers here, for example, and we see all these tasks. We can use all these instruments. It might look terribly bizarre, but never mind. I had to click on insert for it. So voila, we can create anything and put insert, and here we have got it. And after our students will receive this this terrible feature I just created, and they might, for example, use my response, and they will have to open it and will have this math editor, as you just seen, to use all these instruments they might need to answer it. So that's how it looks like. The other important thing is link. If you would like to add some additional information, you might add a link. It works like a YouTube link, but it's a link for example, for the EDFORM worksheet, or for the EDFORM site, for anything, any site you would like to use. So we just copy link here and put OK. That's it. We do not have this preview. We just have this small box somewhere below the information, or just to make our students know more about this or that topic. And the other button for information is the last one. It's called information. So we put it here anywhere in our worksheet, and we can adjust it, can be bigger, smaller, more visible, less visible, and when we click on it, we have this box to fill in with this information. We can put it like this. We close, we see the information, good luck. And after we click it, our students will see our information, additional information, good luck, that is. Go to the editor, we come back to the builder. This is how all of our instruments look like, and it's time for us to come to the next very, very important page, which is called assigning our worksheet. So in assigning our EDFORM, we will find out more about two types of EDFORM lessons, which I just told you before, and we'll learn how to set up the deadline, reopen and end our assignments. So let's see how it works. After we created the worksheet, we click on Save and Assign. What we see here, we might change the name, the subject, the grade, the visibility, and after we did everything, we save and assign. And we've got here two types of assignments. We've got student-based mode and teacher-led lesson. It's already chosen student-based mode because it's like the most basic one. It's for home tasks when your students accomplish their tasks at home, offline. You are not in touch with them and they have got the deadline, and you will just receive all these papers after this deadline finishes or after your students accomplish them. So it's for home task. But the other type of assignment is teacher-led lesson. Teacher-led lesson is an online lesson. You might practice teacher-led lessons while you are meeting your students via different platforms for online meetings, and you might see what's going on with their papers in real time and how they accomplish them. And if you start a teacher-led lesson, like here, you click on this button, confirm. And you will see the code or QR code. Entering this code, you might copy and paste them and send to your students. And after your students accept your invitation, this waiting for participants button will become active, and here you will see start a lesson. And after you start a lesson, you will just show your students the learning material you just created, what we have seen, or any learning material you choose from the library or the previously created learning materials. And after you would like to finish everything, you will end a lesson and you will come to this report section where you will see your students' results, whether they accomplished this task or no, and the percentage of this accomplishment, whether they're successful or no. We will see this in the report section right soon, and before we do it, we will see how we can get prepared to our assignments. So if, for example, we choose a student-based mode, let it be, we will see that we have got here classes. So we've got two classes. We can choose one of them. Either if we do not want to choose classes, we might assign these tasks to guest students using name or ID, using Google account or Microsoft account. It's also possible. And then we can choose the general settings and set them according to our needs. Deadline, time limit for this task. The student might accomplish it, for example, in 2 minutes, no more. If you would like, you might allow them to review answers after submission or not, show correct answers or not, show score or not. We can click on everything. You might set time limit 10 minutes, for example. You might set deadline. It might be the day, the month, the day, and the year. You choose this from here, and it might be for tomorrow, for example, if it's student-based mode. So that's how it looks like. You might confirm, and in the student-based mode, your students will see this. We need this correct time. Let it be, for example, here, time limit, set the deadline. If we need to have some time, we don't need it. Yes, let's do it here. There are some problems because it's February. We need not February, we need May. Yes. Oh, again, something wrong here. (10 a.m.) Finally, Finally, we assign this task, and we've got here, we can invite participants, we can end assignment, and we can share it directly to our students, everything which might help us share this lesson with our students. We've got 2 students, and we will see their results here. They will be shown to us. And after this, if we end an assignment, we might reopen it again if we need. We might view worksheet which was assigned. This is how it looks like. There are all of these pages here done. And after that, we come to the next page. This is about tracking our students' progress. So all we need to know about grading and providing meaningful feedback in EDFORM. Let's see how it works. After we've got this, after we've got this thing, what we've got, we can click the report section. In the report section, we've got here the results of the assignment, how it was done. We've got 0 of 2 sessions, so none of our students agreed, for example, to complete this assignment. But let's see the other more successful lessons we've got. Like here, we've got circle elements, for example. This assignment was done by one of students with 100% score. Let's click on it and we will see how it looks like. Here we have got the assignment. We can edit our feedback or give a feedback if we didn't do it. Edit feedback, for example, here we write well done. We can record a short video or an audio. It might be like minute long the video and the audio, and we might say this feedback here. So that is how it looks like. We might export the results, or we might print them. So we might do everything we need for us to be sure that everything is done well. And then we might sort these sessions by score or by name. It depends on if we've got a lot of students. We might see all this. That is how we work with the report section. And finally, what I would like to show you today on our webinar is the types of accounts we've got in EDFORM. We'll learn more about EDFORM Pro and school and district tariff plans. I've just told you a little about them, but here we've got all the information in one page about the EDFORM Pro. We've got unlimited quantity of students in a class. For example, if you've got just a basic EDFORM, free EDFORM, we've got 50 students in a class. Then for assignment, you've got up to 500 students, and in basic EDFORM it's 50. The quantity of slides is bigger. Of course, you've got access to these source files, so we might add from another EDFORM. You've got unlimited drag and drop and imagine questions, so we might add images to them. You've got math response for these difficult mathematical lessons. We just saw it. You might add audio and video types of response. Image and audio elements are also available for EDFORM Pro, and access to copying and editing the other teacher's worksheet. When you click on any worksheet from the public library, you might change it according to your needs. You might make your worksheets private in the EDFORM Pro. It's not possible for the free users, but you have to keep in mind that you might make your learning materials private only before the first assignment, because if they are already been assigned, you might not make them private if they were public beforehand. So it's impossible because someone might already use them. You might also create and manage folders. I've just shown you how to do it and how to benefit from folders, because if you've got plenty of worksheets, plenty of learning materials, you might get lost in them. So creating folders might benefit. You might benefit from it. It might be a really cool idea for you if you've got a lot of a lot of everything. And audio and video feedback is also possible for upgraded users. You might send your students the words of support, or you might correct some answers with this audio and video feedback if it's essential for your subject, like learning languages, for example. And this is about schools and districts account. Just a few essential things we can enumerate here, except for all the EDFORM Pro features included. We've got some other features. It's integration with tools you've already used, like Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, ClassLink, Clever, Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, so much more systems. You've got flexible access to user and team management. You've got up to 2,000 students per one assignment, up to 100 slides in a lesson compared to 50 slides, for example, in the previous one. You've got shared school and district library. You might share your learning materials with your colleagues. So you're not just making them private, like in the Pro version, if you would like, but you might make it private for the school, not for you only. And you've got organization by the department-wide user report, scoreboard, number of active teachers, assignments, students, and a lot of other things. Just for managing work inside the team, inside of the team of teachers who work on the same project, for example, or with the same students or in the same school, etc. That's why it might be, of course, as well profitable for you if you use it. And finally, let's sum up what we've got. We've got for teachers and for students in EDFORM. So for teachers, using EDFORM for teachers is very profitable because here you can create engaging digital activities like this learning papers from drafts directly in EDFORM. You, of course, can make traditional worksheets interactive, but making your digital activities directly in EDFORM is our new and very, very cool feature, which is approved by a lot of teachers worldwide. Then you might assign learning materials as homework or conduct interactive lessons in real time via EDFORM using our two types of assignments. This real-time assignment, teacher-led lesson, or this home task type of assignment, student-paced mode of lesson. And finally, you might keep an eye on your students' performance and guide them thanks to EDFORM's live reporting features. We've just seen all of these live reporting features, which are very important and which are very easy to use because using the report section, you might follow all your students' progress, and your students, even if you delete a class, might save all this information and will see their progress. And about students, a little bit more for the better studying. In EDFORM, students easily reach all the assigned tasks and are well informed about the deadlines. They will never miss a deadline if you assign learning material via EDFORM. And then the second point is EDFORM gives your students equal and quick access to these tasks. They no longer need to scan or print anything before the lesson, so they save time and you save time. And the third very important point is to support and grant your class with EDFORM, providing meaningful feedback and tracking your students' progress with your EDFORM tools, thanks to our reporting features of given feedback as written, audio or video feedback. That's why EDFORM is beneficial for students and for teachers as well to make the greater cooperation between both sides. And now I'm ready to answer the question you've got, if you've got some because there are a lot of information about EDFORM, and you might be in a mess a bit, but I hope that you got a lot of essential information for your usage of EDFORM, and you will practice it. And whether you have got and you will have got some questions while practicing EDFORM with your students, you might always address EDFORM team via our email or via chat directly in the EDFORM website. It's the button at the bottom of the web page. In the right side, you'll see this button. I've just shown you it. Let's see, where is it? You can click discover or be on the any page we've got. So we have got the button of help here. You will be able to click on it hope we will see it. It will be here below at the bottom of the page. Just finishing with this. If you do not have any essential and additional questions, I'd like to say thank you for being with me this Thursday afternoon and for spending with me this amazing 9 minutes. It was very practical, and I hope it was useful for you, and it will be engaging in future. And if you watch this webinar, and you will be able to do that because it will be available on our YouTube page of the EDFORM. So join us on social networks, on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and you will find a lot of updates there about all of our new instruments we've got. And all the news about EDFORM you might see there. So stay in touch and be with EDFORM. See you there. Let your teaching practices be much more interactive with our instruments. Good luck to you. Bye-bye.